Let me say a few words about some of the reports that we've seen coming out of Ukraine and Russia today. We've seen reports that Russia is now considering proceeding with the Sham referenda in Ukraine, something we said that they were going to do for many months, having installed puppet representatives in the parts of Ukraine that they've seized, and now looking to proceed with referenda that would be a sham, and that would then lead to them claiming the annexation of Ukrainian territory. At the same time, we're seeing reports that President Putin is contemplating mobilizing more of Russia's reserves, throwing more young Russians into his desperate quest to seize another country. That both of these things are happening this week as we're at the United Nations shows his utter contempt and disdain for the United Nations, for the General Assembly, for the United Nations Charter. The very principles that we're here to uphold this week in the Charter, sovereignty, independence, territorial integrity, are what are being violently aggressed by Russia, including through the attempts to proceed with these referenda and putting even more forces into the effort to seize Ukrainian sovereign territory. I think it's also not a surprise that this is happening now. We've seen in the last weeks significant gains by Ukraine in taking back the land, its land, seized by Russian forces since the aggression began February 24th. It's also a time when Russia itself is seeing serious reverses on the battlefield, and even some of its closest partners are clearly raising their deep concerns about what Russia is doing and the consequences this is having for countries around the world. And I'd also say, none of this, the sham referenda, the potential mobilization of additional forces, is a sign of strength. On the contrary, it's a sign of weakness. It's the sign of Russian failure. Let me be very clear. If these referenda proceed, and if Russia purports to annex Ukrainian territory, the United States will never recognize it. And here this week at the United Nations, it would be important for other countries, anyone who supports and purports to defend the UN Charter, to make that clear as well.